everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome. If you're new here, a very, very warm welcome to you. My name's Emily and I'm a knitter, crocheter and very occasional sewer. Today's episode is my month-end wrap-up for the month of July. So we're going to go through how I got on in July. I will take you through the finished objects that I made in July. I will then take you on to my Scrappy project. I will then take you on to the works in progress numbers, give you an idea of what the numbers are, and then finally I will go through my plans for the month of August and beyond, essentially, because it doesn't always happen, but I think we'll go through it when I get there. It's fine. Right, how are we all? I hope that you're all doing well, that you're having a really lovely weekend so far. I'm hopefully at Donington right now. Fingers crossed. The weather either isn't too hot or it isn't raining. It's going to be just right. That's not true. That's not true. But yeah, hopefully I am at Donington right now and enjoying myself, watching some cars. And yeah, just having a jolly old time. Fingers crossed. Right, so I am going to get stuck in and I'm going to start with everything that I finished for the month of July. It was quite a nice, I was about to say it was a nice mix, but you'll see it's not really a mix, but it's a nice amount, I think. So I'm really, really pleased. The first one that I have is lovely Graeme the Octopus. This was the summer crochet along with Toft, and these colours, so this lovely teal and the magenta, these were the colours that Rob picked for this project, and he did fantastic, let me tell you. And I think a number of you have also commented in the comments below that you think Rob made a very good choice in his colour selection here. I think it works so, so well. It's absolutely brilliant, isn't it? So good. This project was so much fun to make. I do highly recommend it if you fancy giving it a go. Just bear in mind, it's a lot of bobbles. You do have to crochet the tentacles inside out and then turn them the other way around. So that can be a bit fiddly. But it is a fantastic project. It is really, really good fun. Fantastic. Yeah, that is Graeme. I'm going to put him back over here because I don't know if you've noticed, but Graeme lives back here for the moment. There we are. He replaced my pincushion flower. Was it pincushion flower? I think it was the pincushion flower, the one from the Toft workshop this year. But yeah, I think he looks great just there. He adds a nice hit of colour. Okay, so the next one I have that I finished off, and yes, it was finished in this order. This one was the spring crochet along with Toft, and this was Calypso, the Frizzle chicken. It took me so long to finish this, and I mean, that is a prime example. I finished the summer, I started and finished the summer crochet along before I actually finished the spring one. So yeah, I was doing all right until this leg. One of the legs I had to take off because I'd sewn it in the wrong place, and then the feathers got me. Got to admit, the feathers really got me, but it is such an effective project. It is so good. It looks so fantastic. The feathers are a nightmare. I cannot dance around that. They're an absolute nightmare, but if you've got the will, it will look fantastic. So yeah, really worth the effort, and I think he's so great. He does have eyes. They are hidden in amongst his feathers. There you go, there's one, and then the other one is just there. So he does have eyes, it's just you can't see them. But it was a really fun make. This one I chose the colours myself, and I just used the colours that Toft used in one of theirs. So I'm not very adventurous. You can clearly see Rob is more adventurous. I not so much, but it is finished, really happy. That was my second finished object. The third finished object, and this is why I was saying it's not really a mixed bag, because the next one is a Toft item as well. This one is Nina the Spoon-billed Sandpiper. It's quite a... I've never said that out loud before, so it's quite a tongue twister. That's where I was going with that. This is Nina the Spoon-billed Sandpiper, and she's gorgeous. I love the colour palette for this one actually. It's really, really nice, and it was really good fun to make. However, be warned, the speckling, it looks really effective, don't get me wrong, it is really, really nice, but again, it just took me so long to get past because yeah, it was a lot of concentration, and yeah, it wasn't my most enjoyable, lots of colour changing and everything like that. But as I said with Calypso, it's so effective and so worth it. So this is Nina the Spoon-billed Sandpiper. This is bird number 11 of the 12 birds of Christmas. You can see there's a lovely gap this end now. So yeah, she is bird 11. So I've only got one more to do, which is fantastic. Okay, that is her. Right, the final finished object that I finished in the month of July is the gorgeous Plumeria Tank Top. And this is a pattern by Along Avec Anna, and it's just beautiful. It's such a pleasure to work on, and the final product is absolutely beautiful. I've not worn it properly yet because the weather is just slightly too hot for me to wear it. I know that's a little bit of a, you know, it's a vest top, it's made for summer, but this is just a slightly too hot to wear in summer. It is 100% merino. I used Along Avec Anna's yarn, and the colourways, I believe, were the bluey greeny colour was called Celadon, and the grey colour was called Louvre, I believe. I think that's right. But yes, this is just gorgeous. Really enjoyed it. The yarn is so soft and wonderful, and yeah, I'm really happy that I finished it. But as I say, I do need to make the time to wear it, and hopefully the weather cools down a little bit so it's not, you know, there's not so much sweatiness going on. That is what I don't want to do. I don't want to sweat on this too much. So if I can avoid it, I will. But yeah, beautiful pattern, fantastic. I really enjoyed that, actually. I really did enjoy it. So that was my fourth and final finished object for the month of July. All right, so what are we on to now? We're on to scrappy projects. So I do have 3 scrappy projects that are on the go at this time. I have my Battenberg blanket by Sandra Paul of Cherry Heart, and I have my scrappy granny stripe blanket by Attic 24. It has been adapted slightly because I'm using fingering weight, and I'm following the instructions from that Knitty Natty did for hers, because she did a fingering weight blanket and she did it a bit bigger as well, so that worked for me. So that's what I've done. Those 2 I've not touched at all, sensing a pattern here with those. However, I have got a 3rd scrappy blanket on the go, and this one I am actually really enjoying. So I have picked it up, and there has been progress since you last saw it. This is my mitered square blanket, and I think last month, so in last month's video, I will pop it up. I think it goes here. I will pop a little card in here just to, in case you haven't seen it. I did talk in length about what was happening with this mitered square. So I have changed how I'm doing it. Initially, I was doing it fingering weight, and I can't remember how many stitches I was doing, but I was doing fingering weight. And then I decided that, because I've been doing the Sweet Shop blanket as well, which you will see in a moment. I've been doing the Sweet Shop blanket as well. So I got inspired by a number of things from the Sweet Shop blanket, and I changed what I was doing. So I'm still using fingering weight because that is what I've got the most scraps of, so fingering weight makes sense. But I'm now holding fingering weight double, so technically it's DK, which is fantastic because that also means that if I have any DK scraps that I've got enough yarn of, then I can put those in as well. That's the plan. But I can't remember, I haven't marked it for where I showed you last time, but I know there's definitely movement in this, so I'm going to hold it up. Here it is. It's quite big now, but yeah, there it is. It is pretty large. I'm going to try and do it so it is we've got a queen size bed, is that right? Queen size bed? I'm not sure, but yeah, I'm going to have it like a big, enough to cover the bed upstairs width, and then I'm going to start going upwards. But yeah, I changed the way I was doing it, so I've followed, what is the pattern? I've sort of merged a couple of things together. So I'm following the Coziest Memory Blanket by Kemper Ray. I'm following that alongside Anne Hunt of Toby Knits. I'm following along with her mitered square as well, because she did this centre decrease, which I really liked. So I'm using that centre decrease. Plus it works really well for the slipping of the stitches on the edge. So I'm getting quite a neat join here, which I'm loving. It's fantastic. And I hopefully should get a neat join at the top as well. That's the plan. But yeah, everything's working really well. And I did a couple of iterations of it to try and figure out how I could get it as close to 10 grams per square as I could. Or is it 5 grams? could be 10 grams actually. I think it might be 10 grams a square. I can't remember. I might have to weigh it and double check, but I think it's 10 grams a square. So yeah, I'm pretty pleased with what I've done, and yeah, I'm really happy that I spent the time sitting down and trying to figure it out what would work best for me, because now I really enjoy making this and I reach for it when I fancy just putting some stuff into it. So that being said, my other projects not so much. I'm not enjoying them, so I don't reach for them. So half of me wonders if I need to amend what I'm doing a little bit, like I've done with this, because I am reaching for this and it is just so much fun. I'm hoping to get this to the stage where when I get scraps that are the right weight, that I'll just reach for it and put them in. Whereas at the minute I've got a massive backlog. This is not all of it at all, but I've got a massive backlog of scraps that need to get used, essentially. So there we have it. That is my Mitred square blanket. It is a bit of a merging of many different things, so I'm really happy with it actually. Really pleased. Plus having the fingering weight held double, it makes it really squishy and nice. Really good. So that is that one. Right, I have touched upon it. It's not a scrappy project, but it is a long-term project. So, and I did say that I would show this because I'm not showing it in my weekly podcast anymore, so I've moved it to this section, so you'll see it on a monthly basis. However, I've not done a lot, so really not done a lot. I kind of hoped I'd do more, but you'll see for why. So this is the Sweet Shop blanket. Sweet Shop blanket by Laura Penrose, and it's beautiful, fantastic, love it to pieces. You've not seen it for a little while, but as I said, not a lot has changed. The yarn I'm using is by Attic Spin Dye, and it was their Beatrix Potter club, their Beatrix Potter subscription club. It was a 12-month subscription, so you got 12 different colours of yarn. 2 of those months were actually 2 50-gram skeins of yarn, and I've got a massive schematic on my tablet that I am keeping track of how many times I'm using the colours and where I'm using them. So everything's tracked, everything's fine, everything's dandy. I know I'm getting there. I am holding fingering weight double. Laura does state that in the pattern, but you could use DK if you wanted. As I say, I love this pattern, it's wonderful, but that's where I got to the last time I showed you, and I've not really done a lot more. So I've finished off the square that I was working on. Sorry, I'm holding that really far down. Finished off the square that I'm working on, and then I've moved on to the next, picked up the stitches and started working on the next square. This blanket, it is fantastic. I love it to pieces, but it's so hot. It's pretty big. It is definitely, it's lap blanket now, so it's big. And every time I work on it, it's got to sit on me, or if I'm working at the table, it can sit on the table, but it's getting a bit big for the table now, so it's proving a bit troublesome. It's reached that troublesome size. But yes, I absolutely love it, and as I say, I will keep you updated every month as to how I'm getting on with it. But please bear in mind that it's pretty hot at the minute, so I don't know how much I will reach for this in the coming months. But hopefully, as it gets cooler, I will start to reach for it more, because I would really like to get this finished. I also have a bag on one of our dining chairs that has all of the yarn for this, because it doesn't all fit in here. So I really want to get it finished so that I can get that bag off that dining chair, really. And then I can start using the scraps in my Mitred square blanket. You know, it all, swings and roundabouts. It all comes good. It's all exciting. But yes, that is it. There's still loads of ends, in case you were wondering. I don't think you knew that, but there's still loads of ends. So that is the Sweet Shop blanket by Laura Penrose. Right, what are we on to now? The moment of truth. So, works in progress numbers. I have just the numbers here for you. So in June, at the end of June, it was 18 works in progress that were in various stages, whether they're paused, whether they're scrappy projects, whether they are ones that I'm, actively working on. I now, as at the end of July, have 16 works in progress and 3 scrappy projects. So that gives me 19 total at the end of July. Now, yes, it's quite a high number. I have cast on a number of things. I cast on my snake draft blocker. So I finished 4 objects. I cast on my snake draft blocker. I cast on my Santa Claus by Toft. I also cast on three emotional support chickens, so that's 5 cast-ons, isn't it? So that does add up. If I finish 4, cast on 5, that gives me 19. So that makes sense. Those numbers make sense. But yeah, I need to get some stuff down. The emotional support chickens, they're at the stage now where I just need to sew them up. I do need to finish the is it the comb and the wattle? I just need to finish those, and then I can sew them up, and that's 3 easy wins right there. So that would be fantastic. Yeah, that is the state of the numbers. I mean, I'm not worried. It is what it is. I do want to cast on more stuff, which I will get into shortly. But yeah, everything's coming along. It's ticking, it's going, it's moving, it's flowing. There's only a couple of paused items as well, which is fantastic. There's one problem whip, and I think there's 3 paused items at the minute, of which I am hoping to pick up and do maybe an hour each month on them. That's kind of what I'm hoping to do, but I will reassess that at some point. I think I need to do a works in progress check-in with you in September. I need to double check my diary, but we're going to do quarterly works in progress check-ins. So I will basically grab all my works in progress and show you what they are. So although you're hearing just the numbers in the month-end wrap-ups, every quarter you're going to see all of the works in progress, and I will reassess at that point and see what I want to do, essentially. I think it's September. Yeah, I think it's September. I always do updates at the start of my weekly podcasts, so just keep an eye on those updates that I give on my weekly podcasts, and I will keep you up to date there as we are approaching and when it's likely to come. But yeah, that is the state of the works in progress. Right, the fun part, this part, I love this part. I could fill an hour with this part easy. It would be, yeah, quite easily done. But we're going to get started, and I am going to show you my plans for August / for the next couple of months. So not just August, it tends to roll over. However, I am going to look back because I think I did this last month and it was really interesting. Nope, that's behind the scenes. My notes. Okay, so month-end wrap-up for June. What did I say? My plans were the Toft Birds of Christmas. Tick, because I finished Nina, and I have now cast on John the Woodpecker, who is bird 12, so yes, that's still carrying on. Cotton Cuts Clue 6. Tick, because that is done. And if you haven't seen my behind the scenes episode 6, I will pop it up there, because that is where I go through putting that together. Gift projects, I put a tick on it, but I think what I meant by gift projects is my Dotty cardigan. It's all right, everything is still laid about for my weekly podcast, so it's just over there. But yes, I did cast on my Dotty cardigan, so I'm assuming that's what I meant by the gift projects, although I do have some Nightmare Before Christmas things to cast on as well. Then I've got Nightmare Before Christmas. I can tick that partially because I've started my snake draft blocker, so that's fantastic. I did well with last month's plans. This month's plans, here we go. I've actually written gifts again, and I think the reason for that is because I've got my Christmas stockings that I need to make. So from this lovely book, the Nightmare Before Christmas book, here we are. I love this book, it's so good. I need to cast on and make, for Christmas present, I need to make these. So I'm going to make 2. I'm doing one in this sort of colour palette, so the Christmassy colour palette, and then I'm going to do another one, but in a Halloween colour palette. That's the plan. So I'm going to actually make 4 of them. 2 of them are gifts, 2 of them are for me. So we'll see how we get on with that, but I've penciled it in. We shall see. It might happen, it might not, but I kind of need to, it's kind of crunch time now because we are one step closer to October, and we all know that October is the month that everything else gets put to a side. So fingers crossed I can actually get a little bit of a wiggle on with some of these. The next item is the Cotton Cuts Puzzle Mystery Quilt. This is clue 7 that we're on now. We're getting there. There's not many to go now, but this is clue 7. Here it is. And I am just waiting for, actually no, they've changed how they do it. So they used to email the clue to us, but now recently they got us to sign up to create an account. And I'm going to check actually when I finish recording here, and I'm going to check if it is actually in my member area, because I feel like that might be the direction they're going in. So I may have this. So I need to film my next behind the scenes, episode 7, and then I will sew that up. So that will get done in August because I'm doing well and I'm keeping up with it, which is fantastic. The next item that I have on my list, this one is a fun one. I'm really excited for this one. This, I don't know if you remember, but when was it? I think it was April that we went on holiday to Bergen in Norway, which was absolutely beautiful. Love Bergen. It's a fantastic, fantastic place. And I bought some yarn while I was there, and I said I wanted to make the Sophie shawl. So this is the Sophie shawl by Petite Knit. I think it's gorgeous. It's just going to be a really classic, simple shawl / scarf. It's going to be perfect. I'm really excited. It looks like quite a quick, I say quick, looks like quite an easy sort of maybe bedtime knitting possibly. So I might try and finish my draft blocker and then I'll get onto this. But Sophie shawl, this is what I'm going to make. And this is the yarn that I bought. I don't know if you remember, but this is what I bought. How beautiful is that? This is by Fjord Fibres and it is hand dyed in Bergen. This is exactly what I look for when I go on holiday. I look for a yarn that has been dyed by someone either in the country or if I can find it, like in this example, in that city or that place that I've visited. So this is Fjord Fibres, yarn hand dyed in Bergen, the gateway to the fjords of Norway. And yeah, I was overwhelmed when I saw this. It's absolutely beautiful. So I got this. I also got some of this to hold with it. So this is it Tilia? Filcolana Tilia, and it is 70% kid mohair and 30% silk. It's lovely. And I'm going to hold that double for this shawl. So initially I got enough, just the one of these. And I think I got, how many of these did I get? I probably got 2 of these, I think. And then I thought, yeah, I'll make like the small one. But then I thought, no, I want it to be a nice big plush shawl. I think, this just screams nice winter cuddle. So I had to go back to the shop and I got another one. And I also got another one of these. So I've got 3 of the mohair and 2 of these. So it's going to be, I'm so excited for it. I can't tell you. Look at this. It's just beautiful. I will have the website linked below to the lady who dyed this because she has some beautiful colours. And yeah, it's just unbelievable. It's fantastic. So this is 100 grams. And it is 80% wool, 20% polyester. The yarn base is called Troll Fjord Sock. Love it. Love that so much. And the colourway is called Forage. I mean, this is just the colours of our trip. It was beautiful. It was just fantastic. I loved Norway. Bergen was just, yeah. And I have been resisting casting this on. I don't know how I've managed this long without casting it on, but look, hopefully in August. Yes, that's the plan. Right, okay, what's the next item that I want to cast on? The next item that I want to cast on is the Tolster tee by the Creabear. There it is. You can do this in a number of different ways. I am kind of opting for this way. And that is because I would like to use, hang on, I'm going to get it out of the bag. Here we go. I would really like to use there we go. So this is come on brain, this is the Beehive Yarns 13 Days of Halloween box that was inspired by Wednesday, the TV show that was on Netflix. And I think that's absolutely beautiful. And what I would really like is a stripy top in these colours. I did get the 100 gram skein as well. So that is going to be used for the collar, for the ribbing on the sleeves and for the ribbing on the bottom as well. And I think that's just going to be a fantastic little Tolster tee, I think. Yeah, I'm really pleased actually. I definitely think it's going to be that. I've just got to do some calculations to make sure, because obviously you've got the sleeves. I'm a bit nervous that I'm not going to have enough of the 20 gram skeins to be able to incorporate the sleeves as well. So I need to do some serious calculations here. But yeah, if the calculations come out okay, then this is what I hope to do. It's just beautiful. I love this yarn. And yes, this yarn is nearly a year old. So it's about time it stops lying around in my office and actually gets used. So that is the plan with those. Right, put that back in there. One day I will get those used, and I hope it's sooner than later. Right, what's next? Oh, next we have the lovely Adriata by Joji Locatelli. I showed you this, I think, a couple of months ago, and then I showed it you in my podcast that came out on Friday. So I think it's episode 64 now. Got quite a few now, but beautiful top, absolutely love it. This weather is perfect for it because it is far too hot, and this just screams airy to me. It just looks lovely. It's got this beautiful lace paneling down the side that then continues around the sleeve holes. Beautiful, the armholes I should say, there's no sleeves. Beautiful, I love it. Oh, his designs are always gorgeous. So this yarn arrived today being Wednesday, and this is it. This is by Rowan. It's very bright, isn't it, actually? This is the second time holding it up, and I do feel like it is actually quite bright, but I think it will be quite refreshing, and it will be quite nice against my black skirt. I do say this every time. Everything will go against my black skirt, but yes, anyway. It is Rowan Creative Linen, and the makeup of the yarn is 50% linen and 50% cotton. I'm very excited to use this actually because I've never used linen before. I have used cotton, but I've never used linen. Now, Joji's design did use yarn that was a makeup of linen and silk, so I bet that was very luxurious and beautiful. But this, it's not as rough as I thought it would be actually. It's quite nice, and I think it'd be interesting against the skin. So I'm quite interested to work this up and see how I get on with it and see how it's going to feel. And yeah, just nice to work with a different fibre. So never, as I say, never worked with linen before, so quite excited to give that a go. Yeah, so that's the next plan. The final plan that I have for you, I mean, there's so many swimming around in my head, like the souffle. The souffle is not coming up, by the way. The souffle by Laura Penrose, I do want to do that. My apologies, if you do see a fly flying around, he's driving me mad. He's locked in the house at the minute because all the windows are closed, but I might be able to open them now because the sun has gone in at long last. Fantastic. Anyway, that being said, all of these plans that I go through are quite loose. It's not every time that I do actually cast them on. Some of them I might, some of them I'll probably forget about and then remember in a couple of months' time and tell you about it. But they are loose, and yeah, I just get sidetracked and excited and new things happen, and you know what it's like. Right, okay, so the final plan that I have for August and the coming months is this. So this is the Land of Sweets cowl by Helen Stewart, there we go. And it looks great, it's fantastic. I was on the hunt for something that would make use of one of my advents from last year. So I got an advent calendar from Siobhan's Crafts, and it's a 10-gram mini calendar. And I thought, what can I use this for? I was thinking about a cardigan with stripes, but then, yeah, I'm a bit nervous using the 10 grams. But then lots of looking around, and I saw this and I thought, yeah, okay, this uses 10 grams. It should be okay. It should work for this, which is great. And then one of your lovely selves posted on Instagram that you were making this pattern. And I obviously sent you a cheeky message and asked, how is it? Is it a good pattern? And how have you found it? Have you enjoyed it? So on and so forth. And you gave me a very good response. So it has made the list. I'm going to make this. So thank you for that. And thank you for helping me, responding to me and all of that. So yeah, really happy, really excited. The yarn is here. It is super jazzy. It is super bright. So it's going to be a really wacky Land of Sweets. And the 100 gram, I'm not going to use in it, but this is the 100 gram just to show you. So this is Siobhan's Crafts, and this colourway was called Sprinkle of Merry. This was the extra 100 gram for the Merry and Bright calendar that Siobhan did in 2023, so last year's calendar. And I'm going to show you last year's calendar now. Hold on. And honestly, it was true to form. It is definitely Merry and Bright. I'm going to try and wangle that out a bit. There it is, Merry and Bright. It is proper Merry and Bright. It's wonderful. Love, love, love. So I'm going to give you a question. I think I know what I'm going to do, but I'm not 100% sure. But some of these colourways, they do kind of merge. So like these ones here possibly kind of merge into each other. I wasn't sure if I just complete lucky dip and grab whatever, like These are all in order of the calendar, so when I opened them, do I just do a lucky dip and grab whatever and just go with it? Or do I do them in order? Half of me feels like I should just do them in order, but I kind of like the randomness of the colours in this, and I feel like that might work quite well with this because I don't want any colour to get lost. Let me know what you think in the comments below, whether you think I should do them in order as they are here. Obviously you can't see them all very well because they're kind of falling behind each other and stuff. Or do you think just random it, just go random? As I say, I'm leaning towards in order, but just let me know what you think. It would be appreciated. But that is the final plan that I have for August and beyond. Let me know below actually what plans you have for August and beyond. What projects are you hoping to cast on? What projects are you hoping to finish? How do you go about planning for your months as well? Because I kind of just go a bit wild really, and I feel like I would like to be a bit more structured with my projects. So recently I have been trying to be more structured in the sense of casting on gift projects, trying to get more organised to make sure gifts are ready for when they're, you know, in good time before I have to gift them. Also, like with my Vlogmas patterns that I'm working on, I'm trying to get them done before Vlogmas. I'm trying to be more organised, but I think I'm too chaotic a person to be organised. Let me know below how you plan your projects though, because I am very curious and it might give me some ideas on how I can try to be more organised. That being said, I hope you have a wonderful rest of the weekend. I know that Sunday's just started for me, but yes, I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Thank you so much for watching as always. It means the absolute world to me, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video.